Say what's happening. You already know who this is. This is your guy, D Good on What's Happening TV, another IDB Time production. You feel me? Um, I wrote something, of course, from my website, right? And you can find it at idbtime.com. And what that stands for, imagine, desire, belief, in time. Again, you can find this article on idbtime.com. And it's called Until Afterwards. Until afterwards, right? I said, I'm in a space where I want to be expressive. But I think where I go wrong at times is that I express things too soon to people who barely want to hear or simply don't want to hear it at all. And when I realize I've been talking too much, being especially too much, I tend to shut down. Not because I don't feel, not because I don't care, not because I don't want to seem too vulnerable, too weak. We live in a society where a man can't really express themselves because you never know who's going to use your words against you. And sometimes you start conversating about something personal. Some things you trying to be open about only to find out that people can dislike you simply because you spoke. So I went to the scripture because when people don't understand, God always has something to say. In Proverbs 29:11 whispered, a fool ought to all his mind, but a wise man keep it in to afterwards. Those words hit deep because I want to express what I'm typically going through. But I have to understand I can't alter all my mind when the work isn't finished. I can't explain a chapter that God is still writing. And yet the pain can be so great that all you want is somebody to know, somebody to hear, somebody to understand. But I'm beginning to realize that some things have to remain hidden until they are healed. And that's the hard part because ultimately you have to deal with yourself before anybody else does. Sitting alone, you realize you got to go through it. You don't always know what you're going through. You don't always know who you can depend on. You don't always know who you can call, but you can always call on God. He never steered me wrong. Yet being in the flesh, sometimes you want somebody. You want to see somebody. You want a hand, a voice, a presence. But sometimes the only person you need to see is yourself. Because once you truly see yourself, you can finally explain the situation, not from emotions, not from assumptions, but from results. Because it's only because you made it through. Because now you can testify about what almost broke you. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. But Proverbs 29:11 still echoes within me. A fool ought to all his mind, but a wise man keep it in to afterwards. And maybe that's what wisdom look like. Not silence because you have something to say, but silence because God isn't finished speaking until afterwards. To me, man, I wrote that, of course. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Sometimes I feel like I talk a lot. You feel me? Ooh, especially when I'm going through it. Boy, especially when I'm going through it. And it's not the fact that I'm trying to tell people don't talk. I'm not trying to say that. But sometimes you have to wait to speak on things until you go through the things, so therefore you can really analyze what transpired. And what we do sometimes, instead of taking everything to God first, we take it to everybody. This person, your mama, your daddy, your partner, your gal, your significant other. We taking it to everybody. Not trying to get an answer, but trying to express what we're going through. So therefore we can get that pain or emotions off of our chest. See, that's the problem. You feel me? The next person can't solve your issue. Only God and yourself can solve the issue. And I'm not saying, for number one, hold on, I gotta say this. I'm an advocate to go speak with a counselor, a licensed therapist. Hey, go speak with a counselor. You feel me? Especially a licensed counselor. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you ain't speaking with a licensed counselor, be truthful in your prayer, so therefore God can move. God can see you through and everything.